wanted to bring up today. What's the worst or best place that you've ever fainted at? Whether that be home or while you're out in public. I'm really usually really good about knowing like if I'm going to pass out before it happens. So usually I'm good enough that I like assume the position so that way it doesn't happen. However, there are times where you can't do that for whatever reason, and mine have been like my doctor has hounded me on this. It's just like maybe you should stop riding roller coasters, which I did for several years, and then for 2024 I was gifted a season pass for Cedar Point and thought I would go for it again, right? Like how bad could it possibly be, despite previous history of passing out on the Millennium every single time of going down that first hill. But I explain, I wake up like within a few seconds, right? So like it's fine. How bad could it be? I don't remember Steel Vengeance. That's how bad it was. Like I started going that I was out and I woke up again for maybe a second and I was out again, and I managed to hit some part of the coaster because it dislocated my finger pretty wickedly, and I don't even know when that happened. I just know like after the coaster was done I was in like kind of bad, had pretty nice wonderful hand pain, so I had to put that back in. That was wonderful, but it all worked out. I know now that I'm never going to ride Steel Vengeance again, and probably not Millennium Force or Gatekeeper or any of the rides that I've had previous histories of passing out on or getting off and passing out or getting really close to and having heart palpitations during the ride. Gatekeeper, I've thrown up on people on that ride, so I feel really bad about that. By the way, that was my first time riding Gatekeeper and I just vomited everywhere, and because I'd eaten cherries and it was cherry ice cream, it looked like I was puking blood on people, and I felt so fucking bad. I felt so fucking bad about that. If you got that happened to you, I feel so bad. And then with Raptor, like I don't know, I can still ride like, yeah, Blue Streak beats the hell out of you, and I have broken my foot on Blue Streak before or fractured it. It wasn't like a bad fracture, it was just like a hairline fracture. Yeah, it sucked, but like I know it's like, why are you riding it? Because they have a cap over the metal, and I wear really supportive athletic shoes now when I go, and also I have like my medical bag with me and a thing that says, hey, stop yelling at me. I can't wait in line, because they would yell at me if I sat on the bars or sat on the ground. They would just fucking yell at me because like, you have to stand up. I'm like, if I do, I'm going to pass out. So now I have a thing that's like, oh, you can't wait in line. So you just sign out a little thing that says you're good to get online. You go wait on a bench or something for a while, and then you can get on ride, because I fucking can't stand in those lines, especially when they're more than 5 minutes, because I will just pass out in the line regardless of the temperature. Obviously, cooler weather is much better, I'm sure, for most potsies it is, but also if it gets too cold, it's not. So it's like that, finding that perfect like 60 to 65 degrees, and anything that's not that is terrible. Like, but like, yeah, where have been your fun places or catastrophic places to pass out, and where have you done that that's been like the most embarrassing? Okay, so no, I have passed out on the toilet before, so like, so I mean, that was at home though. That was at least home. And, but I still think the coaster was worst. Let me know your stories below. Obviously there's no pressure. I'm just curious, where have people passed out before? I want to hear people's stories, okay?